Alright, so a topic definitely worth discussing, and that is right hand technique on the mandolin. It's something that's incredibly important and really fundamental in creating an excellent playing style. And once that you can get it down early or go back and really solidify it, it makes your life that much easier every time you learn a new piece or learn a new tune or anything. You don't have to think about the right hand because the technique will be there for you to fall back on, and it'll just fall right into place and you won't have to be conscious of it while you're playing. So the main idea behind pick theory on the mandolin, and this is the general consensus between most modern players, is that say you're playing a piece in 4/4, so that's 4 beats in a measure, and the quarter note is the note that gets the beat, that each of those 4 beats will be a downstroke. So on the strong beats, all downstrokes. So then, say you wanted to subdivide those into 1/8 notes, so instead of now just having the 4 beats, each beat is now divided into 2, you're going to have a down and an upstroke. And it's important to keep these even and smooth and clean when you're practicing so that that will transfer into your playing every day. So here's what those would be like, dividing those 4 beats into 8 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and once again 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Excellent. So this applies also to further subdivisions, say into 16th notes. You still have it, your playing style remains the same so that you're still subdividing, so that it's going to be a down and an up, even though you're playing smaller subdivisions of that beat. So say you're dividing that up into 16th notes, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Excellent. So that's always really good to keep in mind, that you keep that pick direction going, down, up, down, up, down, up. That is, it seems like it's not too much of a challenge, but the challenge arises more when you're playing on different strings and you have to cross strings, but you still want to keep the direction going as if it were just playing on one of the courses. So a good exercise technique for that comes from John Moore, passed down through Chris Thiele, and he explains it in some of his workshops and things, is that what you want to do is, in this exercise, you're going to be playing 16th notes, and you're going to be pedaling on the G course, but then at the end, at the end of each measure, you're going to cross a string, so it's going to ascend from the G to the D to the A to the E and then back down. So you're going to go up and then go back down to the G. Here's a good demonstration of that. So. And with any exercise, you want to play this at a tempo that means that you can play it cleanly and smoothly and consistently. And then step up the tempo, ideally with a metronome, and that would be. So that's a really good one to warm up your hand, even if you can play that at such a crazy tempo, still cleanly, smoothly, and in time. It's a really good way of waking up the right hand when you're about to start playing or practicing. So this idea transfers over into strumming as well. When you're strumming chords, that the strong beats, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, that they get the downstrokes, because that generally is the stronger sound, that you get more power behind that than the upstroke. However, it's good to try and make those sound as clean and even and smooth and consistent as possible, so that you really can't tell the difference between the down and the upstroke. So also another good idea is to practice scales, making sure that your pick stroke remains the same throughout, that even when you cross those strings you're still going in the correct direction. And then another thing is to really just continue to work on making sure that you get a nice, powerful but clean sound out of each pick motion. So that not being frightened when you're first starting to hit the courses next door to the string that you're fretting. So you get used to really going through the string, because cleanness will come with time, but then you'll get a good sound out of it. And actually, you'll notice a little earlier I messed up that little bit, but I could feel it. When it becomes so ingrained in you, you know when you've messed up your pick direction, and it makes it that much easier if you just have a little brain lapse that you can go back and really correct that problem. So that's always a good thing to have. Good idea to be aware of is that this doesn't necessarily work for every time signature. Pick theory changes slightly, and this is sometimes confusing to think about, but if you're playing in a compound meter, so that instead of dividing the beat in 2, you're dividing it into 3, that the pick stroke is no longer down, up, it's down, up, down, down, up, down, up in, say, a jig time or a slit jig time if you're playing in 6/8 or in 9/8. So a good example, I'll just play a jig. So a couple little fancy things in there, but the main idea is down, up, down, 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 down. And that's really helpful because these are dances, and that also mirrors the technique of the fiddle bow, that you're really getting that strong pulse in the song so that it's really easy to dance to. So tons of ideas, all really good to internalize and really think about and incorporate into your playing because it's incredibly helpful. Thanks.